Now, excuse me. One of the great benefits of the Homestead Act in the state of Florida is not only the protection for forced seizure or foreclosure due to personal liability, but a tax break. A tax break. So again, first-time applicants must be a resident of that property that they're in before January 1st. And again, everyone is required to show that it is their residence. In other words, when you go to the county property appraiser's office, for the exemption, you don't only bring in the HUD-1, you bring in a utility bill that's mailed to you at your residence and your driver's license. That proves that's your principal resident. Again, many counties do allow year-round filing. Miami-Dade is not one of them. No later than March 1st. Again, it must be a primary residence. The homestead exemption is passively renewed every year. Now, one of the benefits of the Homestead Homestead Act is the tax exemption for principal residents. And they've changed the process. So let me give you an idea of what you'll be facing on Sunday, okay? I want you to turn your textbooks to the 100 questions. Page 378 is where they start. And let's look specifically at question 92, which is so much like your class test question, it is frightening. I saw it, I pooped my pants. It was so like the class exam question. Question 92. Follow along with me because it gets a little complex, and this is what you have to watch. Page number 345, question 92. But before you get there, let's see how it works. You see, before 2008, we did not have a three-tier system. We had a one-tier system. There was a base $25,000 exemption on all homestead properties, city, county, and school board. But politics came into the game, of course, and then it changed, okay? So again, calculating a real estate tax levy, please turn to page 299. You'll see the exact way it works. So again, I'm going to make this shorter and not longer, okay? So again, we have a property that is assessed for taxable value at $110,000, correct?
Yes.
So again, you have to find out what the tax rates are, and you have to take off the exemptions. So let's put city, county, and school board. Now for tomorrow, remember this. The assessed value is $110,000, right? Now be very careful of this because the new tax system is fairly complex, and it didn't have to be, okay? So again, for city, county, school board, there's an across-the-board exemption of $25,000 on any property, no matter what the value, for city or county and for school board, right? Now here's where it got real tricky. This is on the first $50,000 of value, not on the first 25, right? Now from 50,001 to 75,000, that exemption would go up to For city and county only, 50,000 prorated from 50,000 up. So a $65,000 assessed value would get an initial $25,000 exemption. And again, over 50 is another 15. They would have a $40,000 exemption, correct? Same for county. But school board stays at 25,000. There's no additional exemption for school board. So no matter what, school board taxes are based on $85,000, right? But because we're above the $75,000, we're at 110. We could exempt another 25 for city. We could exempt another 25,000 for county. And we can't exempt anything more from school board. That remains at $25,000. So now what we're doing is, on school board, we're paying on an assessed value of $85,000 because of the homestead tax exemption. On these two, we're paying on $60,000. Is that correct? Now, if you do your tax liability, and this is where you've got to know what millage is, for county, it's 6 mills, right? For city, it's 8 mills. And for school board, it's 7 mills, right? So they're below that 10 mil cap, that's good. Now, how do you get to the decimal? Move the place 3 places to the left. So this would be 0.008, right? This would be 0.006. And this would be 0.007. Now we have the tax liability, and again, this would be $480. For city, again, this would be $360 for county. Remember, because they did not give an extra exemption for school board any place in the state, that always remains at $85,000 assessed value. The extra 25 would not apply. So again, someone 85,000 times 0.07, if you would.
420?
420?
Yeah.
Everyone agrees on that? Use a calculator, it might be fun. Or necessary tomorrow. So add the 3 together, 420 plus 360 plus 480, right?
1260. Yep.
No, I thought it was 595.
Yes, 595 is the correct answer for this.
This is 595?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I knew someone would correct me. So we have 5, we have 9, 6 is 15, 23, 7, 10, 1435 would be the annual taxes on this particular property. Any questions about it? Yes or no? Yeah.
What if it is, you talked about 65,000?
Okay, when the property is assessed at 75,000 or below, the $25,000 go across the board. But I use 65,000. Why? Because the city tax exemption would be 25 plus 15. They skipped from 0 to 50 to 25. It used to be 0 to anything was 25. Now, in 2009,
So that number never changes, the exemption, or is it just year to year?
I don't know what the millage would be, but that is the way the new tax law is. And this has only been since 2009. Before 2009, it was based on 25,000 across the board. So I can't account for politics, I can just tell you how it is today. I'm sorry?
It changes when legislature says we need this extra money, or we need to make a change to the homestead exemption, they put it on the ballot, and then we vote as a council.
The northern part of the state hates paying taxes. And they use more services than they pay for. The southern part of the state pays all the taxes, and we use less money than we pay for. It's a fact, it's political, and we do not discuss politics in a pre-licensing classroom, which will make most of us very happy, right? So anyway, that will be your homestead tax arithmetical, and it will be very clear like this. Remember, 50,000 off of city over 75,000, 50,000 off of county over 75,000, only 25,000 off of school board, no matter what the assessed value, up to $1 zillion.
Under 75,000 is only 25.
Again, up to 75,000, it's prorated the additional 25. It changed, it got much more complicated in 2009. It is what it is, and it was what it was. If you follow this format on Sunday, you're going to be thrilled to death.
So the recap is up to 50,000 for city.
Cap went up to 50,000, top for city and county. Cap remains, as it always was for school board, $25,000. Anything else? That's all you need to know. You see, to simplify, not to complicate, is the issue. And again, see, this is just to explain it out further. So again, 50,000 or less, always the basic 25,000 exemption. That is how far it goes now. So again, the way it goes, this is 50,001 to 75. You notice that the 25,000 exemption is across the board, right? But now, watch what happens. So the assessed value times the tax rate on the first 50,000. Now, on the second 50,000, city, county only get the additional 25 prorated. You know, the school board remains at 25, right?
Right.
There's your thing. And again, you do the whole thing. But, again, we're going to be dealing with this scenario later. And again, the base 25 for all three, city, county, and school board. And the total 25 for city and county only, which with the school board remained at exactly $25,000. And now we know how to do it, right? So again, you see a question like this, you answer it that way. Clear? Don't change it. Study it, work it out. Study, work it out. Now you know the answer, work your way into it. Now there are partial exemptions, just to be very brief and not spend a lot of time. They show up on the state test. There are some added exemptions to the basic 50,000. And they're as follows. Widows and widowers who do not remarry get an extra 500. Those who are legally blind above poverty limits get an additional 500. Any totally disabled non-veteran who meets a certain low-income standard may get 100% exemption. And again, any veteran of our military forces who has a 10% or greater service-related disability will get an additional 5,000. Now, one of the benefits of Florida homesteading is what is called the Save Our Homes Act to the Florida Constitution of 1995. We have two concepts on this, be careful, okay? Again, one of this homestead property only. The assessed value can never increase in a given year to the lesser of the percentage rise in the National Consumer Price Index, or 3% the lower of the two. What does that mean? A non-homestead property in a rising market, the assessed value is $100,000 this year, it goes up 20%. Well, guess what? They're paying taxes on $120,000, right? For the homestead property owner, they're paying taxes on $103,000. They can't go up more than 3% in any given year while the property is homesteaded in that one party's name. However, and please be aware of this, and this is where people get sticker shock. When they come into the property, in other words, someone closed on the property in May, right? They will pay pretty much what the previous property owner paid in property taxes for the 2013 year. But the sticker shock is this: if they're not working with a real estate professional who knows what they're talking about, I say this: take 2.1% of what the market value of this property is, and that's what you pay the property taxes next year. Because we make room. The biggest danger we could have is long homestead property. You'll notice there are two values on your, when you look at the tax appraisal. There's an assessed value and a save our homes value. The save our homes value is only when that one property owner is in the property. The save our homes value is removed. The new assessed value becomes the taxable value of the property as of 2014, and one doesn't get a tax bill for 2014 until November of 2014. That's how we avoid sticker shock. And that's how we advise consumers by email, so, you know, we get a receipt on it. And now they've been advised, Michelle.
So the homestead, you just apply for it? You
have to go, you don't just apply. Prove it's your principal residence.
Okay.
So again, you must bring your HUD-1 with you. You'll bring your utility bill addressed to you at that address, not addressed to a tenant.
Yes, there's a whole formal process to be getting the.
It's a life formal process.
And you have to live here a certain amount of time too, right?
You have to be the principal residence as of, I can answer this question. I actually can let you. Okay, it must be a principal residence as of January 1st for the tax year for which you are applying. And again, you must go to the county property appraiser's office and prove it is your principal residence. Miami Dade requires no later than March 1st. Broward is a year-round filing county. It depends on the county. So again, counties change. As of last note for me, get down there no later than March 1st. In other words, you go to the county tax appraiser now, and you want to homestead your property, you go right ahead. But you won't get the exemption until 2014, 2013 is passed. They won't allow it.
Okay,
It's just that.
got it.
And every county is their own empire, remember that. Every county is their own empire.
That's the key.
So again, this is it. So the two things you have to know. The Save Our Homes exemption is the saving of the home for homestead property owners no higher than 3%, or percentage of CPI lower of 2. Number 2.